Why are you smiling like that? You're cute, but your head looks abnormally large right now. Why are you leaning so far?
I'm closer to the camera than you are. Yeah.
Okay, so we had one of our most eventful travel days yet. We needed to go from central Pennsylvania over to Pittsburgh. And last minute, we decided we were going to change our reservation, which is usually a good thing. We usually have a really good reason for doing that. But we went from a full hookup with really bad, smelly reviews to an electric-only site that had much better reviews outside of Pittsburgh. And
State park.
this is a state park. No water hookup, but there's water available here. And I thought that I booked us next to the water spigot. But that didn't work out. Anyway, we woke up. Everybody was kind of in a funky mood. The kids were really helpful, which is not always the case on travel days.
Usually never the case on travel days.
They're kind of over being helpful the morning of. And so, but they were actually really helpful. But it was raining, which always makes it a bigger challenge because we can't be outside with the kids as we're packing things up and bringing in the slides and stuff. So we don't like moving on rainy days, but we had to this time.
Yeah, we actually got out of the campsite fairly easy.
We did. Our GPS, for some reason, we have an RV GPS, which is different than a regular GPS. We've learned that we need to trust it when it tells us not to go down certain roads, and we need to trust it when it gives us a certain route because there's usually a low clearance or there's some street we can't go down because of our size. And so it took us through 3 states just to go back to Pennsylvania again. And so we trusted that, but it was really weird to leave Pennsylvania, go to Maryland, go to West Virginia. What was the other state?
No, it was just Maryland and Pennsylvania. It was right along the border of West Virginia.
West Virginia.
And
so we trusted that, and then the weather was crazy. Like, we had strong winds, we had light rain, heavy rain, tornado watch, and then at one point it got super, super foggy, and I don't really know where that came from.
Super foggy, and then the sky cleared up, and
then it was
bright
sunny.
and sunny.
Like it felt like every 10 miles the weather changed, and it was just kind of unnerving on our travel day. And of course, Zachary usually naps on travel days, but this time he waited a really long time to take a nap. And before we were going to stop for a bathroom break, I really had to go to the bathroom. So those really bumpy Pennsylvania roads were a little brutal when you don't want to wake up the baby and stop to go to the bathroom. So that was eventful. All right, so then we get to our campground, and
first of all, we couldn't find it because the GPS actually stopped directions out on the main road. And it was saying to turn right, but there was no road there.
There was no road.
The road is actually on the left, but it was after I had already passed it.
And we needed gas.
Yeah, we were
on fumes at that point.
The low fuel light was on, so we had no idea how much distance we actually had left in there. And we were kind of freaking out about
At one point it told us 11 miles. And we weren't that far, but then we got lost. And
once it gets below 10, it turns off.
It turns off.
Just gives you low fuel.
And, okay, so we find a gas station, but we can't fit in it while we're towing. We don't fit. And so we're like, we'll just go to the campground, we'll drop the camper, and we'll go get gas. We couldn't find the campground. And so we finally find the campground, but we turned down accidentally a road that has a sign that says not over 8 tons. We're well over 8 tons when we're towing. And so we're like inching along that road trying to make sure that we're not going to get stuck. There's literally nowhere to turn around. Thankfully, the bridge warning was past where we needed to enter, so we were able to kind of squeak that one out. But we've gotten stuck in a location before where we had to back up into really heavy traffic, and it was terrifying. And
That
so
was nuts.
that's why we bought the RV GPS, is because we
Exactly.
never wanted to do that again.
The next day we went out and bought it.
We did.
Yeah.
And it was expensive, and it's been worth every single penny for us. And then we get in the campground. We go to our site. It's not next to a water spigot like I thought I booked. And
We couldn't even fit into it.
we couldn't
first of
fit.
all. We tried to,
Okay,
and we
wait.
ended up leaving.
You thought we could fit. I was like, we're not fitting into that. You're like, no, I can do it. I got it. And I'm like, we don't fit. No, watch me. I can do it. No, let's try. We can just do it. Let's try. No, we don't fit. So
The problem was that we would not. It wasn't that we couldn't fit. It was that the actual pad that you drive or back up into is so narrow that the tires were going off the roadway on either side,
In
and
the
it's
grass.
so wet here from the rain that we were leaving
sinking.
huge trenches.
Really leaving marks. We left marks over there,
Yeah,
over there,
pretty
over
much
there.
all around.
And so he starts going into the grass, and I'm like, we don't fit. You need to back up before we sink. And the RV started to sink down into the mud and into the grass, and there's like mud all over our tires. We're destroying their property. I threw my hands up in the air, and I'm like, fine, you do it. Oh wait, no, we don't fit. So we were that couple that was yelling at each other while
Well,
we
I
were trying
think
to
we
back
drove
up.
around. It's a small loop for this park, and we drove around here probably 3 or 4 times. And I think the first time was just to find where we couldn't fit, and then we drove back around looking to see if there was another place we could fit into, and then we went back around because we thought there was water.
And
by
all
the
this time
first
we're on
campsite.
fumes. We have no gas.
Yeah,
So every single time we drive around, we're getting more cranky and just more on edge that we're going to run out of gas and we're going to be stuck wherever we land. We finally decided that we're going to park in a different spot, and that wasn't that hard. You got it. I mean, we have a few little
it was easier.
marks that we left, but it was easier to get into this spot. So we did that, but then the spot was super unlevel. So we could not maneuver that without using a lot of gas and kind of getting things situated. So we had to drop the RV, go find gas.
Yeah.
We leave to go get gas, and we're like on fumes and a prayer. There's not much left in that tank after all of our circling around trying to find a spot. And we get out of the campground. We're almost to the gas station, and the road is closed.
Washed out from the rain or something. We don't know what it was. We didn't.
And you're
we
like
had to
sitting
turn
in the
around.
driver's seat, and you're like, come on!
At that point, I wanted to curl up into a ball. I was like,
I give up.
I just give up. I don't even know what to do with this.
So we turn around, we go the other way, and we literally like coast in to the gas station and get our gas. We come back, and we realize that there's even bigger ruts than what we realized we left on
Yeah,
the
we
other
were-
side of the campground. Park ranger's not too mad at us. He just waved.
Taking pictures as we drive
Yeah.
through again, and oh, that was us. That was us. That was us.
Jason was here. Jason was here.
Yeah.
Jason was here. And then we come in. We finally get everybody in, and it's like what, 8 o'clock by
Close
that
to
point?
it,
And
yeah.
we left at 10:30. Like, it was a long travel day for us. We're not usually on the road that long. The kids are done. Zachary's like completely fried from being in the car so long. And we go inside. Jason opens up the pantry, and a huge glass jar of peanut butter falls on his foot. It was like the cherry on top
Yeah.
of a really crappy travel day. So, have we had a worse travel day than that?
I don't know. Not one that comes to mind.
Not one that comes to mind. That one was long. So,
Well, we knew we were pushing it already because it was 4.5 hours in the GPS.
and that's
had
why
to
we
stop
changed
a
it.
couple of times for
Yeah.
bathroom breaks and lunch, so we knew it was going to be at least 5.5 hours that we were going to be on the road.
Yeah. Well, and that's why we changed it, because it was going to be 5.5 hours to the other crappy campground. And so we thought we were doing a good thing by shortening it, but it definitely added some challenges to our day. So we have actually, the next day we got up, we went to the grocery store, We tried to go to the chiropractor. They were closed by the time we got there. And we had a really late night by the time we got home last night. We were supposed to go into Pittsburgh today. And we just kind of threw in the towel and said, you know what, it's okay for us to not see all the things and do all the things. And it just feels like life has been kicking our butts for the last week. So, sorry, Pittsburgh, but we didn't get to see you. We decided to lay low today because we have a long travel day tomorrow. We are heading to Ohio. Our first time in Ohio, and we get to go see our best friends that are there. We'll be with them for a week and before we head to Indiana.
Yep.
We see 5 states this month, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, 5 states in 4 weeks.
And then we're in Michigan for the next month after that. I mean, we jump around a lot, but it's only 1 state, so we're going to be moving pretty quick here in the next few weeks. Hopefully those travel days go a little bit smoother than the last one. I mean, we've been on the road for a year and a half, so we know that not all of them are going to be easy. Not all of them are going to go smooth, but taking it 200 miles at a time really seems to help have better travel days. But when we have a bad one, it seems like we have a doozy.
Mm-hmm.
But we're still married. What do they say? I'm sorry for what I said while we were trying to back up the camper.
Who says that?
It's
You?
on a shirt. No, it's on like a shirt or a pillow
I'll buy
or
the shirt
something.
for you then.
Like, we can't do it. Yes, we
Travel
can.
day outfit.
Well, we used to use walkie-talkies, but now we use phones, and I just kind of hung up the phone and threw up my hands. It's like, okay.
Yeah, you hung up your phones, hung up the phone, throw your hands up in the air, and you start yelling. And I've got the window up, so I can't hear you anyways. The only people that can hear you are the people in the other campsites.
Well, you were getting us stuck. So.
Well,
But we're still married. We survived. We can laugh about it now, but it wasn't funny the other day.
yeah.
No.
Just got mud all over the tires, all of them.
There's mud all over everything.
So you can kind of see right there. I misjudged this corner for about 200 feet.
It wasn't small.
So he had a nice trench right there along the edge of the road.
He did go out there and fix it with his shovel yesterday while it was still wet and kind of easily fixable.
And it wasn't all bad
Right.
because the kids came out here and they were looking in the mud and found like 50 worms.
50 worms. Terrence going to go
50
sell it down by the
earthworms, yeah.
by the lake tonight as bait, so make a little money off of it. But we survived. Does it make you want to throw in the towel?
No, not this one.
No. There are definitely days where we're like, what in the world are we doing? But thankfully those are few and far between. Our next stop is Canton, Ohio.